You feel self-conscious, not knowing what to say, doubting yourself, drawing a blank, stumbling. These are all struggles that many of you have said have been holding you back from doing live videos in your business. My name is Teresa Taylor, and I teach network marketers how to build an online business that brands themselves as the forefront of their company. And today we're going to be talking about getting comfortable on live video. So, live video still is the number one way to boost visibility in the algorithm. So, it's really important to utilize this tool to connect and engage and grow with your audience. So, today I'm going to help you build that confidence with a structure in place so that you can show up for your audience and connect with them on a deeper level, ultimately moving them into Messenger and having more meaningful conversations. Does that sound good to you? All right. So, a show stopping live video consists of five basic parts. Okay. There is the headline or hook, which serves as your title and could also be your opening line. And then we move into a story, which is our lead story. And then we have our introduction where we actually introduce ourselves and we say who we are and who we serve. And then we deliver the information and then we wind it all back down and we close it all up. Okay, so we're going to go into these in just a minute, but I want to say first that ideally live videos should be within the 4 to 7 minute mark on Facebook. Facebook loves to see interaction of people when they pass that 4 minute mark. So we really want to build up the beginning of our live video in a way that makes people want to stay and continue listening. And it all starts with the hook. So the hook is really meant to stop people in their tracks. So if people don't stop when they see your title, they're simply not going to watch. So we want to snag people just like a hook for fishing, right? We want to snag them right away so that they stop what they're doing and they start watching. They stop the scroll and start watching you. And then the rest is up to you really to continue this intrigue to keep them watching, to want for them to want to keep watching. And so we're going to be going over how you can do that today. So for the hook, there's there's five different, I'm sorry, four different hooks. Let me move this up. I was wondering where that went on my screen. Okay. So there are four different hooks that we're going to talk about today. So it can look in a variety of ways, but here is some four different ones that you can utilize. So first, you can have one that would be considered an unexpected statement. So something that makes them like, what? What did she just say? Am I hearing that right? So here are some examples. The first could be live video sucks. So if you're in marketing at all and live video has been on your mind, you're probably going to stop there, right? So before we move forward, I want to remind you that everything that we do in business should be absolutely tied to our avatar and our purpose. We need to know exactly why we're doing something, and we want to make sure that we have a plan for the next step. So where we want to lead our ideal customer or recruit. Okay, so live video sucks could be an example of a hook or title for your video. You could also say something like, I quit traditional network marketing. Because as you start sticking around with me, you'll start learning new systems, new strategies, new skills that people out there probably in your own company are not teaching. So when you say something like this, it's going to make other network marketers who might be struggling stop and think, what does she know that I don't, right? Or what's going on? I thought she loved what she's doing, right? So you haven't really stopped network marketing. You're just doing it in a new way that feels good to everybody. So two more examples. I decided to throw away all my pants. That might be good for somebody who, maybe sells leggings or clothing or maybe even weight loss in some ways. And then the last one I wanted to share is maybe on a financial standpoint. I just made $100 while cooking breakfast for my kids. So these are all things that would hook a reader in and make them want to know more. It would stop them in their track. Like, what? An unexpected statement. Okay. The next one is to ask a question. Is laughter truly the best medicine? Have you tried diet programs and still feel stuck? Is beauty more than skin deep? And you could also use statistics. 89% of women age 30 to 45 do this, dot, dot, dot. And you could tell them what it is, or you could just leave them hanging, right? Because if they are someone aged between 30 and 45 and they're a woman, they're probably already going to be interested, right? So, another example would be 3 out of 4 network marketers wish that they knew this one hack. Or you could just leave a number like 59. I don't know, but get creative with it, right? So you can use statistics, you can use numbers. Um, and then the last one I want to talk about is teasing them with value. So this value could be anything. It doesn't have to be, not like a statistic or something like that, but um, like maybe you have some really great strategies to help people boost their mood, or maybe some mindset things, or maybe you have a book list that you put together and you want to talk about your books, or how to select the right type of books. Other examples, changing with the seasons, you could say, for your headline, my top gift ideas of the season. Or if you are in makeup or skincare or some sort of beauty company, maybe you could teach about how to contour with only 2 colors. And in this, you're going to talk about it and show it, right? So you really want to try to think of the missing link for your ideal avatar, the person you're talking to. You want to be able to share something with them that they need to know, but they don't necessarily know that they need to know it. So for instance, I'm short. I'm 5'1.5", almost 2. I have a really tough time finding pants that are the right length for me. They're either just a bit too short or just a bit too long. And anyone who wears pants, but especially me, should know how to correctly measure their inseam, right? And so I might not have known that. I didn't know anything about like needing to measure my inseam until this past summer when I started getting interested in leggings because I was working out and stuff. So and I didn't want to spend the money to have to keep returning things, right? And then I thought, what is this inseam measurement? And should I know how to do it? Right? So this is an example of something that I didn't know I needed to know, but I really did need to know. Okay. So and in saying that, like, you're adding, if you were to address something like this and I was your ideal avatar, like, you've just added value to my life and taught me something that I really did need to know, but I didn't know that I need to know it. So that would have been super valuable to me, and likely I would have enjoyed that value so much that I probably, like, you probably would be on my list as somebody that I need to go to when I'm ready to buy my perfect pair of leggings. Okay. So you want to give people that aha moment that really makes them want to reach out to you. Okay. So at this point, we have done our hook and we have gone into a story here. Hold on a second. So here's an example of a story. Okay. So like I said, it provides the bridge from the problem to the solution. Okay. It's to the point, and we don't want a ton of details. Okay. We want to be able to, I didn't actually tie this together. So yeah, from that hook moves into the story. Okay. So it really doesn't matter how long the story is, but we just want it to be straight to the point, provides a bridge from the problem to the solution, but doesn't give the solution yet. It's making your viewer realize that, oh, there is a solution and you're going to be talking about it. Okay. But I want you to think of when somebody tells you a story, like if they tell you so many details, like the time that this occurred and who all was there, like, do you really want to know all that information? No. So stick to the most important things in it so that you don't lose your viewer, in the process of telling this story. Okay. So I have give you an example here. Okay. It has live video sucks as my title and how I'm going to start the video. And then I'm going to lead straight into the story. So this is what it could look like. Live video sucks. At least that's what my client Susie thinks. She hated going live because she would get clammy and feel like she was stumbling all over her words. And she felt like going live actually damaged her brand more than supported it. But when I told her that there was a simple strategy that she could use to help her build her confidence when on the screen, She was all ears, open to learn. And then you move straight into your introduction from this point. Okay. So she was all ears, open to learn. Hi, my name is Teresa Taylor, and I help women. Da, 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 da. Okay. So straight from that story, you tie directly in to your introduction. It should be short. It should be catchy. Let me move this up for you. It should be short and it should be catchy. Okay, here are some examples. Now, obviously, you don't want to do all of these, but like think your name and your business title, your name and who you help or who you serve, your name and an accomplishment or something that you're known for. I'll give you some examples in just a minute. Okay. Oh, I put one here for you, but my name is Teresa Taylor and I love helping families get healthy. Like super simple. Lots of people, I mean, people don't care to know a whole lot about you in this video. Some of them probably already know quite a bit about you. You are just making the connection, just introducing yourself, making a quick statement about yourself, and then moving on to the information that they have stopped here to learn. Okay. So here are some more examples. My name is Teresa Taylor, and I teach women how to dress in a way that feels good, looks good, and increases their confidence. Hey, my name is Teresa Taylor, and I help women move into retirement with a clear financial plan. Okay, so you can see these are not my personal, it's not really what I do, but they're just examples to help you. But before you move on from this part, you're going to do your first call to action, which is just engagement. It's just a way of saying something that at this point, you're asking people to engage in the chat. Okay. Not just hearts and likes. I mean, if they want a heart and stuff, that's fine, but you want to get them commenting because that's like more valuable, right? So your first call to action, just think of something that's this like super simple you can do all the time. So you immediately go right from your introduction into, and I want to know, where are you watching from today? Hashtag live, hashtag replay. It doesn't matter, but like make that call to action super simple. It's not like you're talking up a storm. You're just telling them at this point what to do. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Hashtag replay if you're here on the replay, so I can reach out and say thank you to you later for watching, right? Okay. So let me see here. Okay, so then after that, you have the engagement. They are typing in. If people are live, I mean, really, until you have a big audience and a big following, I mean, you might be doing some of these live videos just with nobody there, which is totally fine. You just keep doing it like they are there because you really are not making the live video really for the live person. You're really making it for long time. So everybody who's watching on the replay. Okay. So keep the person who's watching on the replay in mind. So in saying that, I didn't mention this before, but make sure that when you start your live video, you get started right away. Don't say, I'm just going to wait on here for a couple minutes and see who pops on, because that's really annoying. I mean, because think about it, if you watch a replay, do you sit there and wait for people to pop on with this person, or do you fast forward it, or do you just slide and go to see something else, right? Just continue the scroll. So keep that in mind. Okay, so from there we move right into the delivery. Now we're going to state what it is that we're going to talk about today, okay? But instead of writing a bunch of notes on your paper, I want you to really just think about writing some key things down here so that you can really speak more freely, okay? When we have a ton of notes, I mean, like right now, even I've got some notes on my screen, and so I'm like trying to read them, but that's part of what is like messing me up, right? Is because I'm trying to make like, where am I at here? Because I kind of went a little off script, which is good. In a training, it's a little different because you're covering so much more information. But in a live video, you're talking about 3 things. These are your supporting details, okay? So I'm going to show you a worksheet in just a minute that's going to help you. And there's just 3 little blocks, and they're meant to be small, really, so that you just write down your point 1, your point 2, and your point 3, maybe a couple of notes about each, but I don't want you to script them out. You have to get comfortable with talking, and the things that you're going to be talking about are things that you know. And we're going to talk more about that as we continue growing in our relationship together, okay? So So on your points here, if you think about being in high school when you had to do like an essay, right? You had to have your introduction, your supporting paragraph one, supporting paragraph two, supporting paragraph three, and then your close, right? It's the same thing. It's really no different. Okay. So think about that as you're setting this up. So you're going to have 3 points, and you're just going to share a little about like an example or a story, how this supports the introduction for each one. Okay. There's not a whole lot to say on this part because it's going to be different for every single person, but this is the body. Like this is where you're delivering that value, the juicy details that they have stayed to see. So if you can put in stories or connect them to your original story, or give examples, that's always really, really helpful to your viewer. Okay, and then moving from the delivery, we go straight into the close. So for the close, we want to just remove the information that we've shared and review, not remove. We want to review the information that we shared and again, state why it's important. Live videos are important for our business because it's still the #1 way that we can boost our visibility in the algorithm. Okay, see how I restated that? You're going to share the results that you want for them, and then you're going to insert a call to action. Okay, this is the call to action. Now, this is where you're going to make the caller, you're going to make the call for the viewer to do a certain action. So maybe you have a freebie that you put together that you want to give away. You could tell them to drop the word freebie in the comments, or maybe you have a special Facebook group that you want to lead them to. You can just ask like, hey, if you're looking for a group that is filled with women who want to learn and grow together, drop hashtag together. I don't know what it is, right? But like that's just an example. And you could tell them that you'll touch base with them and send them information for your Facebook group. Okay. Or maybe you just want them to respond to, I don't know. The point here is don't be shy with what you're asking for. Okay. You have earned the right to ask because you've taken this time to give the value to them and to teach them something that is useful and relevant to them. You have been given permission. You have the right to ask for really whatever it is you want. I mean, maybe not whatever you want. You know what I mean? Okay. So, oh, I don't remember what I was going to say because of that silly little joke of mine. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so let's move to how we can do this call to action effectively. Okay. It's called the who, the what, and the action. Okay. So we're going to say who, whoops, something happened here. Okay. Who you're talking about or talking to or referencing, what, and then the action you want them to take. Okay. So here is an example. You can connect these any way you want. So if you agree with this, share this so other people can hear it too. If you have a friend who needs to hear this, tag them on this message. If you have a teammate who has this problem too, share it with them. If you have a coworker who needs to hear this, comment with, I don't know, maybe that's an example. You get it. Like it's really cool. You just go from one to the next, and this is just a guide to help you. It's not the end all be all, but it's a great place to get some ideas for this. Okay. Now, if you see this here, get the free goodie. So if you would like this freebie that I put together, comment freebie below and I'll get in touch with you. Okay. Now, the freebie here, this free thing, having freebies is really a great way to set yourself apart from everyone else in your company. And stick with me long enough again, and you're going to learn more about this freebie, what kind of things you can create, how to deliver it to your prospect, and most importantly, what to do after they have received it. Okay. Now, if that sounds like something you'd like to learn about, drop freebie in the comments. Do you see how I did that? Okay. So that's basically it. I'm going to go over the worksheet now. Let me see where I put it here. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, before I do that, I did just want to say here, if you are loving if you're loving what we're going over today, I want to invite you to our upcoming Top Recruiter Challenge that starts March 15th. It's from the March 15th to March 19th. And we're going to be I'm going to be teaching you how you can grow your network, increase engagement, and gain qualified leads, not just prospects, actual qualified leads who want what you have, which is going to lead you to more sales and to more enrollments. So you're going to leave the challenge with an incredible framework of how to build an impactful business that's going to position you at the forefront and not your company name. And if that sounds exciting to you, you can register at no, thank you, Micah, at www.toprecruiterchallenge.com. Okay, so www.toprecruiterchallenge.com. Okay, so let me just go over this now with you here. The actual document that's going to help you. Micah, I don't want you to get into that yet. Thank you. Micah, thank you. Okay, so my son is in the room. Okay, here we go. So this basically goes over everything that I've already gone over. It's just done in a nice little worksheet for you to just have on your desk or tape to your computer screen to just kind of glance off of as you are working through this. So you have your headline and your hook, you can insert a question here or a quick story. The story is what I talked about today. And then your introduction, who you are, what you serve, or what you do, who you serve. And then where are you tuning in from? Okay, I also put live or replay to remind you. So because this is always on the paper, it's always going to be there to easily remind you. And I find that to be super, super helpful because it's one of the biggest things that I used to always forget. Even still, sometimes I forget, but having this written here, I don't forget this part. Okay, and then you see the boxes for point 1, point 2, and point 3. Again, short, yeah, thanks, bud. Short and, Micah, please leave the light on. Oh, please, I'm filming. Anyway, he's a sweetheart. Okay, where was I? Okay, so short, not necessarily short and sweet, but just keep it to the point, right? You want to say what it is, give an example or a short story that supports what you're talking about, okay? And then at the end, you're going to close and recap what you just talked about, remind them why it was important, and then give that call to action. Okay. Now, just an example here. Well, I'm going to give you an example, but first I want to say that in your live videos, they don't always have to be about something that you're selling. Like, it doesn't have to be so directly related to your business. What it does have to do is it has to help your viewer to relate to you and for you to relate to them. So you're just building a bigger connection. Like, live video is one of the best ways to do that because you get to show your real self. Like, you've already seen like how I talked to my child when he came in and tried interrupting and turn the light off, right? Like, this is where you really get to know people online, because we can't really get face to face. And then in saying that too, like, your topics can be about things that are fun, that relate to you, but you're sharing it in a way that helps people to have a little more insight into who you are. Okay, so as an example, I live in Alaska. A lot of people are always like, wow, you live in Alaska? But let me just take Alaska here, and I'm going to try to make a really short live video for you, like super short. I'm not going to go all the details, but like, here's an example. I lived in an igloo till I was 8. And then I'm going to say, actually, I didn't. But the funny thing is, I have lived here for 30 something years. And this is the biggest question that I still get asked. I want to tell you the truth about living in Alaska. Hey, my name is Teresa Taylor. And if you're just coming here today for the first time, it's so good to meet you. I help women, da-da-da-da-da. Let me know where you're tuning in from, and go ahead and hashtag live or hashtag replay down below so I can thank you so much for being here. So, and then I'm going to say the 3 things about living in Alaska. No, we don't really live in Alaska. I mean, not Alaska. We don't really live in igloos. We actually live in homes just like the rest of the United States or whatever. And over here, Another thing that people think that we do is we ride dog sleds to school. No, Alaska is just like everybody else in the United States. We've got those cars, blah, blah, blah. You see what I'm doing? Okay. It doesn't have to be super long and lengthy. This is just a fun way to show. And then I'm going to close and recap, and I'm going to say, I hope that today you've learned a little bit more about living in Alaska. And from this point forward, when somebody says to you, Alaskans live in igloos, you can now tell them the honest truth and that you personally know someone who lives there. If you have found this video to be extra fun today, tag your best friend in it. Okay, I don't know. It's just an example. But it's not difficult. This is the format. You can talk about it on the fly. Okay? So that is all I've got for you today. Again, if you have enjoyed being here with me, I'd love to see you on the Top Recruiter Challenge starting March 15th through the 19th. And you can do that at www.toprecruiterchallenge.com. And until then, we will see you later.